So we've built the shelves. Yeah, that's the easy bit. Now we gotta secure them. That's secured. This needs securing. They all need fixing and securing. And at first you think, yeah, that's easy to do. Just get a fixing and fix them above. But your drill or whatever you're using, how you're gonna, So we build them going up, don't we? We put one in and we're happy with that. So then we move to the next and we move to the next. And if we've got a problem, we don't worry about it until we get there. We deal with it when we get there and make a decision with what we've got and what we're going to do about it. So today we're, so generally you'd fix them downwards. You'd fix them, bring them down, fix them downwards, and then keep the space at the bottom so that you can get your tool into, so the bottom one's always bigger. So you can, that's how this has been done. Fixed underneath. But we don't want to do that here. And Willie said, he enjoyed listening to me think, how are we going to tackle this? How are we going to do this? I've got a plan. I'm sort of thinking. So we'll do that. That's then we can. Hopefully, that'll be the last set of shelves we do in quite a while. Yeah, in quite a while. I'm guessing. I'm sort of hoping. Yeah, we can move. We can leave the shelves alone then. Anyway, in between times, there's something just small I want to tell you. So we've converted to this heater thing here. I think it's going to do all right, even if you have to have another one here. I'm not keen, although it's a fantastic thing. I'm not keen on having the gas in the garage. I don't think it's safe. If the garage caught fire and the firemen came to just put out a garage and we're sort of expecting maybe a small gas bottle or a heater bottle, and there's one of these in here, yeah, I wouldn't like the thought of it if one of these go bad. So anyway, as you can see, you can't see yet, but this is nearly finished. It gets a line to about here. So this is due to be finished. So I'm not going to get rid of it. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to replace it, refill it, and then put it outside, even if it's at the end of the garden, even away from the building, somewhere on its own. As you can see, it provides heat, but these things turn around. You turn the pivot here, and it's cooking. So it's heat, and it's heat for a room, and it's a form of cooking. You can cook on that, can't you? Warm a pan up, make a soup or fry something. We live in a very dangerous world, and these politicians and these globalists and all the rest of it is putting us at danger without our permission. I never voted to be Russia's number one enemy, and now we've got involved in all this other foreign stuff. If we are making enemies, and if those enemies decided in their wisdom, I tell you what we'll do, we'll knock out the electricity, we'll knock out the gas. There's lots of things they could do, and you'd be without, wouldn't you? So I'm going to keep this full, disappear in the back garden, out the way of danger, and we've always then got some sort of heating, independent heating and independent cooking, and it just might make life a little bit more comfortable if these enemies of the state, shall we call them, or people that we've made into enemies of the states come along and knock you out. So get yourself, and relatively speaking, they're not a lot of money, and they last a long time. Obviously you'd have to be careful with it and ration it, but if you were careful with what you did with one of these, it would last you a very long time whilst they try and figure out how they're going to fix the electric or the gas or the whatever. that you've got in your house. If they knock out the system and it has to be cut off for maybe weeks. So get yourself a big bottle, fill it full of gas. I know and you've always, the value is always still in it. You're not going to lose anything by it. It's not like you're throwing money away, like you were drinking it, turning it into alcohol and drinking it, or turning it into cigarettes and smoking it. You know, it's still there, isn't it? And get yourself one of these little burner cooker things. It's lovely and warm when you want it to be warm, so it'll warm your room up for you and your family to huddle together. And obviously, most of us have got boxes of candles in the houses, so you've got light, and then you can turn it and you can cook on it, should you need to. If the electric and the gas gets knocked out for whatever reason, for weeks on end. Anyway, so I'm just trying to burn this off now, so that I can, you can hear its light. It's very near the end. It's very near the end. So I'll get it, replace it, refill it, and then hide it away forevermore. And we've got it then, haven't we? So let's begin. I hope I don't get in your way too much. So we fixed that one, haven't we? So first of all, let's mark them. This is number 1. This is number 2. 1, 2, 3. So we know where we're counting from the top down. This is number 3. This is number 4. This is number 5. 5 front. 5F. Pretty nice cleaner piece. And 5 rear. Front and rear. This is number 6. Oh, yeah, it just came out a bit on the bend. Number 7 and number 8. That'll do us just fine. Bring that out gently. Right. So let's just do a couple of the easy top ones first. So we want shelf number 1, don't we? Shelf number 1. These, I do love the texture. They're so easy to work with. I was wondering if I might need to. No, we'll drive through them. We'll be all right. Shelf number 1. Right. Number 1. Put it in. And just bring it so it comes level with the front. Let's just bang a few of these in. It's going to do the trick just nicely. Wow, they done half. Pull it in. Simple and as quick as that. And the light is really good. Whoops, we've lost one. We don't like to lose them. Wow. All of a sudden it begins to get secure, doesn't it? The more... It's a bit like a wobbly old square. The square is really wobbly until you finish the square. Number 2. This is where we had a little problem there, but it's not a problem. I'll put that there, make sure it reaches okay. Make it nice looking and flush. This is going to be real easy. It's difficult to explain to you how this really grips. Oh, don't lose it. Don't lose it, you moron. You've already lost one. Hold on. Right. Yeah, that's got it. Whew. A few more out. So, how are we going to? 1, 2, we'll have another one. Seems a big gap there. Let's investigate that. What's gone wrong there? This gap this side is 12. This side here is 14. Yeah, I can physically see a big difference. The one underneath is 14. Underneath is 12. So really we should bring that up a touch, shouldn't we? Yeah, look, that is 12 centimeters, and that is 14 centimeters. This one underneath is 10 centimeters, and this one underneath is 12 centimeters. So we need to, we would have been out on that, weren't we? How did that happen? We'll, that's shelf number 1, 2, this is shelf number 3. So let's pull shelf number 3 out, put it in. Yeah, this is where it went bad. I've got a level here somewhere, oh yeah. How bad is this level? Pretty bad, pretty bad. The trouble is, it's no point going in altering it because you're not bringing it enough to make a difference, and you don't want to go half a hole up because you're just making the one hole bigger, aren't you? But because we're coming up by so much, I think what we're going to do is we're going to actually, where's the bubble? Oh, doesn't look that bad. Suppose it is when they get, we're going to move a whole hole up. So we're going to come out of there, come a hole up. Where's the measurements? Why was our gauge out? Oh yeah, gauge was out somehow, wasn't it? Let's put this one in here, which is the next one down. 4. Why was that wrong? Why was that? Why was that wrong? Why did that go terribly wrong then? Because this one, that's pretty good, that is. Pretty spot on. Yeah, we need to encourage that up a bit, don't we? Yeah. So I don't ordinarily like doing this. But sometimes you got to, ain't you? Let's take this out. So if you can imagine, I've now got 2 holes. 2, what's it called? Vacant holes? 2 holes. So I don't want to go in anywhere near where I was. I want to get quite a bit above it. So we need to come quite a bit. Of course, left-handed doesn't help. You're working on this side. It's easy that side because I'm sort of right-handed. You're going to come up quite a bit. So about there. Remember, you've got a shelf. You've got a thickness of a shelf to play with, haven't you? Gonna go about there. We're going about there yet. Here we are. There we are. Don't try. Oh, I tell you what. With this text gun, you never ever want to trap your fingers. That looks a bit off still. We're going to live with that. See these tech screws? 3, 4. We were on Chev 4, weren't we? That looks like it's gone completely the other way. No matter, we're near enough. That'll do. It's gonna. That nose needs to come up. The nose on that one needs to go up to make it look somewhere near. There we are. That brought us a bit closer. So I've made a plan for my next move. We'll go to the next shelf now. Let's just do that there. Ooh. Captured it. Put it where it should be, right. Once you've got a grip, once you've got a bite, the thing grips like a nutter. Hold on. We've done something wrong. Yeah. We're ahead of ourselves. We're ahead of ourselves. How did that happen? How did that happen? Silly boy. Right, here we go again. Is that a cleaner one? Yeah, clean a bit to the front. That's it. Sort of put it within. Actually, that has jumped. That's jumped forward. Whilst we're here, let's do that one as well. For some reason, that's jumped forward and put a step on there. We're going to just re-alter that slightly, if we can. Come on, that'll do. I've got it. Two, three. Right, we're on three, aren't we? Yeah. Hold that in place there. Lovely. Do this one. I wish you could feel the torque, the pulling power in these screws are unbelievable. Put one in the back there. We're going to put 4 in? Yeah. Let's get done with 4. And we'll change the plan again. Oh, yeah. That sort of... Whatever we've done, we should measure it, shouldn't we? Why has that done that again? Look. We'll be all right. We'll put a specially crooked box in there and then you won't know it, will you? Right, put that where it should be. Let's have a go. I know what's making it crooked is we're not going straight up, are we? We're going off at an angle. So the torque of it is pulling it crooked. We'll be all right. Right, let's... One more, and then we'll change angles. We'll have another look. So let's have a recap. Let's see what we're doing. Live and at the scene. A Reggie, not a 2-hour special, but you know, we've gone well astray there, haven't we? What on earth happened there? Look at that. Damn. We'll be all right. We'll carry on. Yeah. Reggie individual shelving units, right? So we've got it now. We're going to change tact now. We're going to mark these out, but what we're going to do is we're going to bolt these. But even how do you get under there with a pen to be able to mark it? Yeah, it's not the easiest, bestest way, is it? So these 2 bottom ones have got to be bolted. Let's deal with that now, which is the last ones, isn't it? So let's put you back there, you know, see how we're going to deal with it. So, number 8. So what we're going to do, I'm going to mark these ready. So the shelf, number 8 shelf, sits on there like that, doesn't it? But you're going to struggle to get your marker in there to mark it and to get a fixing. So all we're going to do is we're going to put it in the same place but underneath the holes. So let's put this in under here. He says it won't fit. No. Oh, that's a bit of a bummer, isn't it? It don't matter. Yeah, because the nut ends are doing. These are going to have to be smaller. I'll tell you what the problem is. When it sits on top, there's no fixing heads, is there? So these have got to be, these two bottom ones have got to be shorter, and this is another way. I was going to mark it underneath like this, look, and then put it in, but that's not going to, that plan isn't going to work. So we'll do the same but different. Let's use these, because the gap's the same wherever it is. The gap is always going to be the same, isn't it? So if we discover, hold on, let me just show you. The gap between the holes in these bars are always the same. So I was going to put it underneath and mark the top. That isn't going to work because of the head bolts. It makes this shelf, when it sits on top, these heads aren't in the way of there. So you're going to reduce it. So what we're going to do is, there's that on the edge. Here is this hole on the edge. So if we mark each of these holes now, going backwards on this side and this side, we should hit them, shouldn't we? So it'll be just like moving it forward. Or shall we cut the bracket so the hole is just here so we know where we're at? If we mark this there, will it come forward? We've run ourselves into a bit of a trap here, haven't we? Yeah, we really, to make this work, we've really got to cut the shelf just to that hole, so then we can mark it. Because if this is where it is, let me explain. To mark the board, these holes, I was just going to see, they do match up, but in the wrong place, don't they? But if we did this and we moved it forward, we can do the same. We can do the same, because what we can do is, what can we do? Yeah, that's okay there, because we know, let's get a cleaner. We can't use a cleaner shelf. Yeah, what we've got to do, that's too thick as well. No, it's not. Might just go. Hold on a minute. So what we've done, we've matched this loose piece with the piece that's underneath. So these holes here match up. So if we get another piece of this and match that hole up with this, we know there's a hole there, and we know the holes are even. So if we match that hole up with this about there, say, then we can mark this wood, can't we? There's a hole there, there's a hole there, and there's a hole there. Yeah, That's what we've done. We've because you know these spaces are always the same, aren't they? So what we've done, and we take this out, and we'll be there. We know where the holes are. So let's just have a quick check of that. So roughly speaking, that hole is about 2 inches back from the surface. So this hole is about 2 inches where we marked back from the surface. So we're all right, we're on target. That hole is 2 inches from the surface. Enough to get in with a big enough drill. And this is about, so let's pull this onto the surface where it would be. And this hole, that marking is about 2 inches away from the surface. So we're going to be able to get it. And then every other hole is the same going backwards. Here slightly different. Here is slightly different. We can see this one. Bring this one forward a bit. That little nut isn't helping. Just makes it a bit tighter, that's all. So we know where this hole is, right on the very edge there. So if we do the same thing here, that hole is just on the edge there. That hole is there, but not same again. This little hole is just under there. So this little hole is just under there. So now we can mark the position of these just to get the fixing in. Hold on. It's going to be a tight squeeze, and we have got room to grow underneath, so we'll go a little bigger. Yeah, that would be ideal, but because you're trying to stuff it into an unknown, it might be bent or twisted somehow. So let's not take that risk, and let's go slightly longer. So we've gone with these. They're a bit older. These are a Whitworth thread, very coarse. The trouble is, you pick one up, is it metric, is it AF? I've been collecting for so long and I've got that many. You pick the right size, and if it hasn't got the nut connected, you've got the problem of finding the right nut with the right thread. If you just keep metric, it's not a problem. If you just keep AF, not a problem. If you just keep Whitworth, it's not a problem. But when you've got so many mixed ones. So anyway, we found these, and like I say, I like to keep the little nut and a bolt together. Much easier. You just pick one and off you go. So slightly bigger hole than this now to drill through. So we've gone for quite a big drill. But the hole in the bottom is going to be the same, so that's its own washer under here, and we'll put a washer on top of here. That's going to give us enough wiggle room for the bolt to be able to move around if we're not quite accurate. You know, it's going to reach, it's going to not only reach vertically, isn't it, but now the hole's a bit bigger, it can twist and move and reach. So let's put our theory to the test and bang some holes in here. So the holes are a bit big, but we need a bit of wiggle space. We know the spacing will be correct. It's whether they land in the right place. So anyway, we'll do these as well now. Well, did our theory work out okay? So it's fairly flush, isn't it? Let's drop the bolt in. Smack on, lovely jubbly. So the bottom won't need a washer, because that's plenty of a grip. We're only just sort of holding them in place, aren't we? But I think we'll put a nice washer on the top to celebrate that. Wow, look at that. It's got it smack on. So our theory worked just right. Wow. Just right. It's in there. and it'll tighten itself up as you tighten it up. You don't really, as long as it's fixed. So let's take this out, do the same up here, and then we can Tech screw these two. Two shelves, and we'll do the same here. Put a nut and bolt in them, put 2 nuts and bolts in them, because we know now these are equal along here. So, and it's to the front, so do another one here with nuts and bolts. Tech screw these 2 in and just slide these in and stuff your little nut and bolt in there, and it's gonna be just fine when it's tightened up. So here we go again. The hole underneath is just on the edge there, isn't it? Just in. So let's put the wood in place. Let's put this bar with the hole just sort of in a bit, just slightly in a bit. And because of the wiggle room, we're going to enlarge the hole. We're going to be all right. So, did we hit our targets? Look, let's just put that where we want it to be. Ideally, it should just drop straight in, but not quite just dropping straight in, but near enough. And we've got enough, because it's going to be a clamping force, so we've got plenty of room for it to move around to accommodate this next one. Let's try one more over here, shall we? Put this in. Where is it? Where is it? Is it there? Yeah, look, it's got it. So that's got it nicely, and that's got it nicely. Yeah. So that's them sorted. Lovely jubbly. And like I say, we'll put a washer on the top of it, and that will stop the little nut from falling through. We don't need it at the bottom here because it's going through that. And it'll be just fine, just enough to hold the shelf in place. So, if you remember, shelf number 5 was in 2 pieces, wasn't it? And there is a slight split there. I wonder if the screws going in are going to be a bit too aggressive. We're going to split the wood, or encourage the wood to split a little more. So, I was wondering whether to just put another piece on top here and fix all the way through, get a bigger screw and fix all the way through, or drill a hole through this one and fix to like a piece of batten or something on top. Let's see, let's go fairly gentle, and let's see if we can get through here gently. See, this is right on the edge here. So the next one is there somewhere, which is okay, which is the middle. Yeah, let's approach this very gently, this shelf number 5. So it was just showing signs of coming through, splitting the wood. Same there. I just went through the gap. I just went through a bit more of an angle and went in more gentle. So we've got a fixing in each one. It's going to be, it's a bit wobbly wibbly, isn't it? We might decide to just cut a piece off and just put a little bolt through it. Yeah, so we sort of clamp it. We've got enough room, haven't we? There, see, we could pull it out, drill the hole, put a little bolt top and bottom on this one. I think might be the answer. Yeah, what's that like? Yeah, that might be the answer on this one, because it's slightly, we'll see. So shelf number 6 is the last one we're going to tech screw, and we've already pre-prepared 7 and 8, so I don't see any problems ahead. So let's have ourselves a little recap. Yeah, we decided to turn this into shelves. We had those lengths of wood. We've used them in the most efficient way that we could. Rather than have them cut off, we just cut them in half. And okay, we've lost this space, but we've been most efficient with the wood by just cutting the planks that we had in half, which was going to fit lovely. We built the brackets. We put the brackets in first, didn't we? We put a shelf, and then we moved on and we moved up, and we had a few mishaps along the way. Yeah. Maybe I should have measured it and marked it down the side here. Anyway, there's that. Then we stripped it all out and we fixed it from below, didn't we? So the fixings, all the fixings are in. Where's the light? All the fixings are in underneath, aren't they? Yeah. And we knew we were coming up to this bottom. So the secret of this is all we've done is made this hole through this piece of wood bigger, so we've got wiggle room. Then all you do is tighten it down with a washer either end, and it's got you there, hasn't it? So we've got, where's the light again? Hold on, let's just do that. So we've got this one in just nicely, and this one in just nicely. So we fitted these two in first, and then we took them out knowing that they would go back in with nuts and bolts, and then we just got the old driver and bang 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 bang. Them tech screws are amazing. And let me just show you the tug. There was one here, was a bit the angle wasn't quite right over there, but the power of pulling these together is amazing. Look what it's done to that one. Was about out somewhere, so it just pulled it together. So now this is ready and we can continue. We've got stuff to put stuff out the way. We can continue our tidying regime. We've got to make a sort of a lock for this, haven't we? Let's see if that shuts. Yeah, put a lock for there. I was thinking, do you know, I was thinking of if I've got some long fixings, I was going to, and we can always do it, now it's done, I was going to drive some fixings along here, maybe 3, and then we could sit a box on it, come up here, drive another 3 or 4 across from there to there. So it would just be like, it would look like just bars sitting across there. There's plenty to do. We can get to that when we get to it. We'll handle that when we get to it. When we've got something, once we've decided, oh, that would fit in there, then we'll make that space work. But all in all, I'm really pleased. Yeah, our tidying regime can now move forward because we've got a few shelves. We've got a bit of swapping about. Take these out of here. Put that big one in the bottom. If it fits, we won't know till we get there, and then we'll jiggle things about and I'll be much happier. Yeah. So, Scoutcrafter mentioned a knife in EDC, everyday carry. As far as I'm aware of, the Brits don't everyday carry a knife. I could be wrong, but I don't think so. It's not in our psyche. I don't hear the boys tell me, "Oh, what are you carrying today?" type of thing. So we have them in different, obviously different professions might have different builders and that, professionals, but as an ordinary person, as far as I'm aware, in the UK, it's not a thing. It's not like an accepted thing, an everyday carry. But I could be wrong, and you might be able to put me right on it. But so on the theme of everyday carry, you know, I'm oh dear. You know, I'm a jumper in or outer. I haven't got my own truck. I just jump in and out, drive everybody else's truck. I'm a day man. I'm not out all week. I don't SH1T in the woods with the bears anymore. Been there, done that, got the t-shirt. I'm a day man. So what do I carry with me, you know, when I get in the truck? So I thought, well, we'd just go through the bag. We just go through the bag, the sort of things that I carry with me, that I think that are sort of essential. Now, I used to have an adjustable wrench, but it just makes the bag that much heavier. So I know I've took that out of it. So obviously, we need our leads to be able to connect to our Roadhawk, which is our dash cam. So number one thing is dash cam. Number two thing is my sat nav in my little sat nav bag that stays in there. In here, it's just garbage. Gloves that I keep in my sandwich boxes and spare gloves, because you lose them all the time. So when a set of gloves wear out, they don't die, they just go as a set of spare gloves. When we carry seals, and that should be in the bin. We carry seals in case you need one. A spare and a spare of seals. A paper clip thing, and down here various little lights, bit of spare paperwork, various lights, whether it be a torch, or just always some sort of light, and some sort of a head torch. Always, you always got to carry a, you know, one or two head torches just in case. You've always got, if you find yourself needing light. And that's about it. Oh, an old timer, a bit of insulating tape, and that's about it inside there. But you might find something interesting in here. One of these El Cheapo screwdrivers, with the sort of thing you'll buy in a market, but the bits are in the handle. Bit of a ratchet screwdriver. That goes back to the days when the window winders, the screw came loose on the window winders, so you were forever trying to tighten up a thing on a window winder. That's how far back that exists. So we've got this old knife, mainly for doing hand delivery pallets, when you've got to strip one down and handball it out, or that sort of thing, or moving. So it's used that infrequent, it's rusting. It's one of them lock knives. I have had security have pulled me a few times with it. I don't think you're allowed to have one of these anymore. No, over here in the UK. You get in trouble with it. What else we got in there? No, nothing. Right, so that lives in there. We've got, what have we got in this next pouch? We'll put that back in a minute. Oh yeah, license. All your tags and all that. What have we got in here? Oh, that's just full of pens. Yeah, full of pens in there. A bit of insulating tape. You just never know. And plenty of pens again. Glasses and sunglasses. Here we are again. We've got a Stanley blade. Again, a little torch. What else we got in here? There is another little pair of wire clippers. I'm looking for something else. There is. I know something else in here. Wherever is it? Oh, here we are. We've got in here, and again, it's nothing of any expensive. It's just must have been a Christmas present, or it must have been something we picked up off the market. Just a spare pair of pliers. It just makes the difference. There might just be that day that you need to grip something. That's and there's a bit of a screwdriver thing on the end of it. So yeah, we have that with us. not very strong or effective, anything like that. And there's one thing I want to show you that my friend gave me, and it's the only place I know to keep it. It's in here. Yeah. Look at this. Ooh, look at this. Wow. You haven't seen one of these, have you? A navigating light. A finger light. Have you ever seen one of these? Look at this. It's what the fast jets, because you know you're in an airplane, you're in a cockpit. You're not allowed any light in the cockpit, are you? Hold on. But you here we are. Yeah. And you put it over your glove. It velcros over your glove, and you put it on your finger. So in the dark, when you're looking for switches, you know, you're in a jet, so you don't want to be seen, do you? So you can't put your interior light on going at, you know, Mark 1 or 2, can you? You'll be seen. So it's a finger light. And if you want to find a switch, the little light comes on. And yeah. It's the only place I know to keep it safe, yeah. Interesting. You don't see them around and about, do you? UK MOD. The finger lights. So today we're expecting delivery of a front panel. This SIP here has finally given in the ghost. Now if you consider this is like a, you know, a temporary garage where we keep the car, and what it does for the price we paid for it from new, the alternative would be a lot more. So I'm really happy. Consider these SIPs, they get opened twice a day. You know, sometimes more than twice a day, but generally speaking, the car goes out, we shut it, goes back in. Sometimes we leave it open. So, and we've had this as long as we've had the car nearly. So the car, it's 4 years old this now, isn't it? Just over. And it's had a beating. Wow, you can see. You can see better. They have been playing up. We have sort of messed with them, but they're just, you can see where, you know, the material is beginning, it gets, I don't know, is it stretched or torn? By the end here, you see some of it. It does get a good bit of abuse, and it doesn't connect. Yeah, it's but I'm more than happy with it. More than happy with it. We might squeeze one more year. It depends. I think it's the snow that does the damage. You can see, look, it's just showing signs, you know, of, it seems to be clearer this side of damage than this side. Only once it released here, the wind got it and blew a hole in there. We just strapped it back up again. But all in all, you know, what's the alternative? It's done really well. I'm really pleased with it. I meant to put another one instead of it, but it's been that good, I haven't actually got round to it. Plus, the cost and the effort. Cost and the effort. Yeah, and the inconvenience of clearing this to put something else instead of it, you know. But anyway, we've got a panel coming today. So the next couple of days we'll see that get fitted, and we'll put this back in the bottom of it. So I'm really pleased with the performance of it. You know, this the SIP, the amount of use the SIP gets, I think it's okay for an occasional. It'll last a lot longer if you didn't open it as often as we do, but we open it twice a day. Yeah. So I'm really pleased with it. So we've got that coming today. And one of the other things I'm pleased with is that at least we were able to do this. You know, a lot of I thought to myself, you buy the thing, you'll never get the one piece. But there is a label here. Hold on. There's a label on the inside, look. And it tells you what model it is and the parts you need for it. Which is really useful. Hold on a minute. There's another one somewhere. Yeah. It actually tells you what it is. So it's easy to ring up and say, right, I want one of these, I want that, you know what I mean? It even tells you what part number you want for the front panel, the main cover, and the end panel. So that's really good service, that, isn't it? So you don't need to explain to them or come and measure or try and remember what the hell you've bought because it's on here. Yeah, so that's really helpful.